Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Krista Patton. You're wonderful. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Krista, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. Okay, so just like yesterday and the day before, whatever, it's still a cluster, guys. There's so much paranoia running through the house right now, and on one side it's great because it's really entertaining, and on the other side it's just like, wait, what? We gotta unpack all of this. So Nicole and Corey were chatting on the Sky Bridge, and you know, the last few days we've seen Nicole saying like, we gotta get rid of Frank, we gotta get rid of Frank. But now it's like, what is going on? She tells Corey, we gotta get rid of Day soon. What? She's saying that she doesn't trust her. She heard that Day told Frank that she wants the two of them out. What? And she doesn't like that Day is really uneasy about making this alliance with them. So I guess Paulie, when he heard about Frank, was all like, alright, let's have a 5-person alliance with me, Nicole, Corey, Day, and Zakiya. So apparently Day is just like, no. She doesn't want to be in that alliance. Look who else is in that group. That would put her with 2 potential blossoming showmances. So she would be like the odd person out. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't blame her. But Nicole's just like, why doesn't she want to do the alliance with us? So she's not feeling good about that. So Nicole's like, we need to keep an eye on that situation. She's still saying that she wants to backdoor Frank next week, but she's like, maybe if I win the roadkill and like we can't do the Frank thing or whatever, I'll put up Davon. What? Okay. Meanwhile, we've got Day and James chatting in the have-not room. And James is just really bummed that the vets seem to be splitting up. This 8-pack thing is not working out. Did you really think that it would? An 8-person alliance meet in the first week? Bomb squad. Come on. Come on, James. So, also, like, he was really hoping that the vets would be in the final 4 together, and it's like, James, did you really think that was gonna happen too? Come on. So Day then spills the beans about this 5-person alliance that Paulie wants to put together, and James is just like, why am I always left out of everything? And it's true, like, he is not included in these alliances and stuff. Like, yeah, he's in the 8-pack, whatever, but he's not in the bro group or anything. It's just like he is left out of a lot of stuff, and I'm thinking it's because people don't take him seriously as a gamer. Like, they see him there trying to win America's Favorite Player again. They see him hanging out with Natalie all the time now and Bronte and them. So I don't think they think of him as like somebody who could help their game. But then James was like, you know what, I think we should try to get the vets back together. I think we should go back to basics here. And he's like, if we could sneakily get rid of Corey, then we would be able to pull Nicole back in because she's gotten so close to him now. She's totally slipping into her first time around gameplay when she like latched on to Hayden, which is what she said she wasn't going to do. So he was like, if we can get rid of Corey, we'll get Nicole back, and then that would also free up Paulie if Frank wasn't here either. Well, I mean, if they got rid of Frank, would they really be bringing the vets back together? I don't know. But Dave's like, yeah, bring the vets back together, but we still need to get rid of Frank because we can't trust him. So basically, they want to bring Nicole back in. I mean, it could work if they get rid of Corey, but if she finds out that they put him up, like, via roadkill or whatever, is she really going to want to work with them again? So then Frank and James were chatting in the safari room, and James, it seems like, is kind of trying to maybe drop some hints to Frank without really being like, hey, everybody's coming after you. But he's like, I got this gut feeling that there are these new groups forming within the 8-pack. And Frank is like, oh, no, man, I'm not worried about that. That's just paranoia. So he's like, I feel good about us 4 vets. I feel good about Zakiya, Michelle, Corey's all right. But he's like, the only person I'm really worried about in our group is Tiffany, and he's still saying, like, let's get her out in the next 2 weeks. Let's do it. Let's wrap this baby up. So then, let's talk about Natalie. She has been, like, all over James lately. She's really trying to make that showmance happen, and James is like, Yeah. I think James is reluctant to get into a full-on showmance because that could really hurt his game. I've said that before, but Natalie has been going on and on and on, and not just to James, but to everyone about how Victor has wronged her. She's like, you don't just cuddle with someone and lead them on and then say that you don't want anything to do with them. She just will not stop talking about it. And I'm like, Natalie, get your head in the game, girl. This is not summer camp. Stop it. It's not wet, hot American summer. It's dry, cold Big Brother. Okay? Let's get it together here. So then Day and Tiffany, back to the game. Day and Tiffany were chatting in the have-not room. And, you know, big topic of the week. They're talking about all of Frank's deals and his scheming. So Day is like, whoa, I just realized something. We need to be careful with what we're telling Zakiya, because she just runs and tells Pauly everything, and that could potentially get back to Frank. So, like, we really need to be careful here. So that it was interesting to see Day talking about Zakiya like that to someone like Tiffany, because we know that Tiffany and Day are kind of like, there's some tension there. But, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of interesting. So then Day tells Tiffany about this alliance of 5 that Pauly proposed. And Tiffany's just like, wait, what? Because, you know, Tiffany thinks she's got a pretty good thing going here with Pauly. And she wasn't included in this. So Day is like, tell me if I'm crazy, but isn't it, like, ridiculous to work with 2 potential showmances? And Tiffany's like, no, like, that is, it's wild, it's crazy, don't do it. So that, of course she's going to say don't do it. But then, Day is just like, I asked Zakiya, like, would she rather stick with the Fatal 5 or go with this Pauly thing? And she's like, the Pauly thing. So Day is just like, what the hell happened to the Fatal 5 alliance? So then Tiffany's like, let's just get crazy here. If I win HOH, maybe I'll go after one of the showmances or something, blow some shit up. So I guess she would have to go after Pauly and Zakiya, because Nicole and Corey are on her team, so it's not like she can nominate them. I mean, there is the roadkill, but still, yeah. Do I think that Tiffany would actually put up one of the showmances? I don't think so. I think she would be going for Frank. But anyway, I think she's just mad because she wasn't included in the Pauly thing. So, speaking of Pauly, he was talking to Day. I think he was up in the HOH room. They were talking about this potential alliance of 5. And Pauly's like, what do you think about it? I think it's a good group, right? Yeah, it's great. And Day's just like, yeah, it's solid. But we know that Day is not really into this thing. So she's changing the subject. She's bringing up Frank again. And they're just like, you know what? We've got the votes to do this. We may as well just get it done, right? So then they were talking about how they're going to have to use the roadkill and or some sort of backdoor plan, because if you've seen Frank's season, he is a freaking competition beast, and he was very, very difficult to get rid of. So, I mean, even if they started trying next week, it could take a long time for him to actually go. So then Pauly's like, well, what if we don't take out Frank for a while and we go for Bridget, Natalie, and Bronte first, and that'll kind of, like, weaken him? Who are you, freaking Dr. Evil, and you're gonna, like, make this ridiculous plan and give him a chance to escape? Like, what are you doing? You could just take out Frank. I mean, that's an idea, too. So then Frank, Corey, and Pauly have this, like, bro trio meeting, and Frank is just, like, thinking everything's great. They're going to go after, like, Bronte or Tiffany next week. So Frank is telling Corey again, like, you need to throw the HOH so that we have Tiffany as an option. Now, Frank has heard, I think it was from James, that Corey is, like, really nervous about throwing this competition, and maybe he doesn't want to. So Frank is really trying to encourage him, like, you need to throw this. So he's like, yeah, our girls are loyal to us, like Day, Zakiya, Nicole, Michelle, like they never go against us. Okay. So then Nicole and Corey are chatting in the storage room. Oh my god. And Corey is just like, yeah, I was just talking to Frank, and I don't know, it just seems like he's really genuine about our alliance with him. Like, I think he's just BSing everybody else. And Nicole is just like, no! He is playing Mike Boogie's game. Like, he is lying. Do you really think that Corey knows who freaking Mike Boogie is? Come on. But anyway, Nicole is just like, we cannot trust him. He's got all these different deals going. What makes you think that ours is actually for real? So then Michelle comes into the room, and Michelle and Nicole are both telling Corey about all of Frank's lies again, and Corey's just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So then, they're talking about, you know, throwing competitions. Corey is saying that he doesn't want to do it because Nicole told him that he doesn't want to do it. And then they get Michelle to agree to throw the HOH competition so that Frank's team cannot win, and then Frank can go up on the block. We'll see if she actually follows through with that. I don't know, because, you know, she likes to kiss the veterans' butts. But Corey's like, yeah, so I guess, like, there's a good chance that I could be winning HOH, so if I do, I guess I'll, like, go through with the plan and backdoor Frank. Again, we'll see if that would actually happen, because I feel like Corey just believes whatever is told to him, so, like, the last person that talks to him, that's what's gonna happen. So then, last night, Nicole and Day had a late-night conversation. They kind of cleared up some weirdness surrounding that potential 5-person alliance. So Day is like, well, I wouldn't want to be, like, the odd person out in this group. And Nicole's like, if anybody's going to be the odd person out, it's going to be me, because Corey and Paulie are going to be together, and then Zakiya and you. I don't really buy that, but I mean, it's an argument that you could make. So then Nicole is saying that I would want to go to the end with a vet, meaning Devon. She's saying that she would not be able to be a newbie in the final 2, so the 2 of them need to stick together. We've heard this before, but, like, we've also heard them talk about taking each other out. So then Day is like, well, I want you to know, like, I don't think you and Corey should throw the HOH competition. Me neither. Okay, so this morning it was more of the same, talking about Frank. The house guests were getting ready for today's eviction. There's been so much talk about Frank this week. I feel like I keep forgetting that Victor's the one going home, right? Victor's up on the block against Tiffany and Bronte. It seems like Victor doesn't even realize that he's going, which is really sad, because I'm pretty sure the vote is going to be 10-0. So it's going to be interesting to see his reaction. I'm a little curious about that. Also, HOH competition tonight should be pretty freaking interesting to see who's going to throw it, who's not. I think the house guests are going to be really disappointed if/when Frank wins HOH. I could totally see it happening. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Give me your predictions, what you hope to see, and until tomorrow, much love.